Oh, Gen 7! I'm a Gen 7 main. Not really. We see Victini. And Victini is my favorite Pokemon, so this is gonna be a good one.
So actually, Victini is really cool here because there's no fire resist on Luigi's team.
Also, half of the team is just slower than the Victini.
Victini's actually gonna come in here predicting the Z move. And now it could threaten like a choice banded V-Create, which might kill the Kyurem.
You could go Lando if you're a Walkie Helmet, you also do some damage, and I would assume like Lando survives the V-Create, but
yeah,
if it's
like
choice
no bulk at all, it should survive.
They do want the rocks like so much, so you can't really throw it in.
Oh, it's Will-O-Wisp? Yeah, welcome.
Oh,
how you
what a cool set.
What is going on my screen? What? Like the
And now it's not an item. It actually is good into Kartana and Magearna too, and Lele. Whoa, this is a cool pick.
Yeah, I think the Victini is especially nice paired with the Diancie to prevent stealth walks going up, right? And well, I was
you could have defog in the back too, yeah.
Yeah, true. Probably defog on the Feeny walks on the Lando, and it's just interesting to see that. Does Diancie die if you don't Mega your Diancie in turn 1? Do you die to the Z Freeze Shock anyways?
I would think so, because you're probably not running HP investment. Regular Diancie actually is pretty bulky, it just has low HP. Oh.
Yeah, the damage probably not.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm surprised he went to it there. But I mean, what do I mean?
Yeah, like probably didn't want to give a Ferrothorn a free switch in, like what Punny could have done is go Ferrothorn, set up spikes on the Fusion Bolt, right? Also keeping health on Victini makes sense, and maybe he wanted to set up Vox right now with Diancie, but now it's not that possible anymore.
Do you just Mega it so you can switch it around to prevent rocks and play those?
Yeah, I mean, at this point, you just Mega and pray you thaw out anyway, because you still live in Ice Beam and it 2 kills regardless, and that way you have another turn to be faster, or you could threaten Stealth Rock later against Landorus, yeah. Lele coming in there, it could threaten a Choice Band, Hidden Power Fire, or Focus Blast, but Ferrothorn should be able to one-shot if it's Gyro Ball, so there's a lot going on the line here. Victini could also check the Focus Blast or the Hidden Power Fire as well.
What do you think about Lele here, just for the terrain?
Yeah, I think Lele could just claim a KO if the Diancie decides to try to fall and it stays frozen. Punny doesn't have the greatest Psychic switch in, because this is most likely to be a choice specs Tapu Lele, and Luigi just wanted to threaten. Oh my god, it's
nothing.
It's also not Z, maybe Twisted Spoon. It's definitely
not be, I was gonna say Assault Vest or Twisted Spoon, yeah.
Metronome.
Okay,
Metronome is an old school set too, yeah.
Like, Psyshock is really good here. I think you can stay with Lele against Buffini. Just, if Buffini is gone, you always have terrain control, which is really good for the Alakazam.
Alakazam. And also, Dragonite is going to have to do a lot of work for Punny at this point, because, like, you look, Diancie is low, Victini's needed to check everything, Finny's now low. So I think Dragonite, if it might be like a Dragon Dance, Ice Punch, Superpower kind of type of, like, 3-attack Dragon Dance set that could do well, but it's going to be tough for Punny at this point.
Yeah. I think Luigi is way more likely to be able to get rocks up at this point with the Lando T, because the Finny's low can defog, the Diancie, it's just, the rocks are already up on Luigi's side, so even if you block the rocks, it can just kill you and then get set up rocks after. And the rocks for Punny are really bad. They disable Dragonite's ability to, do a lot of work. They, chip out Victini really strongly.
I don't think that Luigi will ever set up stuff.
Yeah, I'm not sure he's going to get enough openings to set up rocks if it's Ice Punch on Dragonite or Ice on Landorus as well. Because the first time Lando comes in, you're always going to go to Diancie. And I mean, given how fast-paced this game is he going to get 2 or 3 entries? I'm just not sure.
Also, if Dragonite comes in on the Landorus, it could set up a Drain Dance. Obviously, some Landorus run Hidden Power Ice.
It might be toxic on Lando, though, on this team.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. We see Landorus. Okay, this is maybe a bit more offensive Landorus.
It could be it's defog. Okay, and that's actually really good for Luigi on the flip side. And now you're kind of obligated to stay in the
defog and Vox? It is defog and Vox then, right? Or is it just a team with any stealth?
I think it's defog rocks with Iapa Berry. I bet we're gonna see Punny go right back here to. I guess we'll see. It could be HBX from Punny.
I don't like this. Looks like Scarf. Like, what is the Landorus set? Because we saw Rocks on the Ferrothorn.
We saw Rocks on Ferrothorn. It's probably
is it
on the Dragonite. I mean, it could be Landorus.
Yeah. I mean, Z Landorus threatens a KO here, so we might see a QM sacrifice. You don't want to.
It could be Scarf Lando because it's Bikini's not Scarf.
On the Z and then back to Landorus afterwards.
That's also a possibility, yeah. Like, the Dragonite is still scary because you don't know which Dragonite set it is. And after 2 Dragon Dances, it could outspeed the entire team and one-shot everything.
It's probably Scarf Kartana, you'd think, right?
Yeah, but that's why, like, two Dragon Dances would be scary, and we just see a U-turn from Landorus.
Okay, and now Ferrothorn here is able to get Rocks back up. That's good.
We will probably see
another no freeze.
Okay. So. Yeah, I was about to say, we will probably see another freeze, but no.
And if it's Leech Seed, it could live a couple and replenish health as well. And you don't want to switch to Kartana and risk like a knockoff either, so.
Yeah, I mean, it looks quite bad for Punny already taking a lot of damage on Victini, Diancie, Ferrothorn, Fini. But the Dragonite is really...
Well, there's a Leech Seed, so the Ferrothorn is at least doing its end of the job.
Yeah, do you want to go to something like Victini here? Okay, we do not see a switch. Oh, the Victini switch would have been fire because then you could have gotten a recreate off, but we see another Leech Seed. And is it Ayapapa? No, oh yes, it is. It is Ayapapa. Nobody wants Vicky Berry. Okay, Vicky Berry will be bad for Landorus, but oh my god. We see the walks on the Diancie switch, that's rough.
Oh my god.
And we see another. Damn! Punny got it. Another
oh my god,
one.
Another?
Another one! Now Punny was switched to Lando. Nope.
No! But
I mean, that is really good for Punny, yeah. Like, as I said, the Dragonite can still run away with the game.
Could you go to it here?
I think so. Like, when the Landorus gets a defog off, but that should be fine. But now, I think... what would you do here? You could also go Victini and threaten a KO. The problem is that Dragonite needs 2 Dragon Dances to outspeed Choice Scarf, Katana, as well as the Alakazam. And there's, like, no good opportunity to get a second Dragon Dance up. Because if Landorus just decides to go for U-turn, it breaks the multi-scale, and you maybe can set up 2 Dragon Dances if you get it on a Katana that is locked into something like Leaf Blade or Sacred Sword. So maybe that is something Punny.
But you can never force Kartana to lock into those moves. I don't think the position for Luigi is too good to force that kind of lock, and I feel like Luigi's gonna play like around that kind of play.
That makes sense, but
honestly,
also...
I think Luigi kind of, I don't want to say like through, but I think that he should have probably played that a bit differently, but I think he's still in an okay spot to win the game.
Punny taking the time to calculate like the outcome now, trying to... Yeah, I think the match, think a couple of turns ahead, and you cannot go to Ferrothorn here. I don't think that is great, because then you just give the Landorus free stealth walk. Same thing with Tapu Fini, as well as the Landorus, as well as Dragonite. So I think
maybe
you're kind of forced to go Victini. But if you click V-Create and Luigi decides to toss QM... Okay, we see Landorus instead, never mind.
So is this Z? Because we did see U-turn before.
I feel like it's Scarf, because otherwise the Alakazam just fucking...
Okay, it is Z Dragonite, Z Fly Dragonite.
Yes, it's probably Scarf Ice Landorus, which is good here. And now the combination of Earthquake and Hidden Power Ice is actually really threatening. Like, once Landorus dies, Earthquake can pick a little bit.
Mm-hmm. But now Luigi could go to Alakazam and pick a KO as well with Psychic. Another option would be to go Lele and pick a KO with Lele instead, because keeping the magic guard on the Alakazam can be quite useful, but we see Alakazam. Maybe no Terra, because you really want
You mean
to...
Omega?
No, Mega Terra, same
same thing.
Oh,
But we see
well, that is a way to disrupt the game. I wonder if we see Landorus come in here on a Focus Blast.
And then U-turn. Yeah, where's the Landorus? Do we see a Psychic? Nope.
That's a really nice sequence there from Punny, and you could U-turn here without really any fear of repercussion.
But what do you U-turn to? Like, what do you want to toss? I think the Falcon is now way too healthy to throw it away, also for the Katana.
Probably just Finny.
Finny, yeah. When you lose terrain
There's
control...
also, if it's adamant U-turn, it can kill. Like...
Exactly. Falcon also... but if it's adamant, it is slower than Alakazam. So I don't know.
Right.
If
Earthquake kills if he goes for Earthquake.
Yeah, Earthquake is actually a little stronger than U-turn. Earthquake is a roll on the Calc set, but Punny could have more like defensive EVs on Landorus. We don't know that. Also, Luigi could be maybe a little defense invested on the Alakazam, because you only need max speed Alakazam for the mirror, and if you don't expect to run into the mirror, you can run a little bit bulkier Alakazam. So this situation surely is interesting, but it kind of also comes down to what the Magiana set is. I would assume it's AV based on the team structure, but I'm not.
You kind of don't have a reason to pull it out here unless it's against Dragonite, right?
Yeah.
What does Luigi do here? Does he go to lane OT?
That's why I didn't want to get the Mega off yet, because if you Mega here, you could get the Intimidate and then survive every move from Landorus pretty comfortably. Now that the Terra is gone, we see U-turn and
it lives. Yeah, that was a roll, I think, like a 50% roll. Unless Alakazam has like bulk EVs, like more than
Orlando.
Alakazam doesn't have Magic Guard anymore, so it is dead to rocks. He just lets it go here.
Let's go.
And Victini might live knockoff without Yappa Berry if it's got HP investment. So
not from Katana, I don't think. Like it's still a Katana, and overall, like if the good thing is, yeah, if you toss your Landorus now, you have no item of the Dragonite because you're Z move. When you get the 2 Dragon Dances I was talking about the whole time. So. Do we see a Landorus sacrifice on Punny's side? Like, there's no...
We see Ferrothorn as well.
Yeah, that's fair, because if Sacred Sword, same thing. Dragonite gets set up. And, like, Ferrothorn can also run away with the game, because Magiana should not be able to touch it. I don't think it's Hidden Power Fire. It's Ice Beam, I would say, on this 6.
Does Luigi even have a play against like switch to Ferrothorn? Do you double to Lando, or because Sacred just loses you the game because Dina gets 2 DDs, and I don't think you can go like Lele or Megier now on it.
Yeah,
I feel like it's a pretty straightforward play for Punny.
Looks really, really locked for Punny. Yeah, we see the Ferrothorn, and we
see knockoff.
So we do see Ferrothorn on the knockoff, and it does live another 2 knockoffs. So it could probably Leech Seed predicting a switch here.
Yeah, I mean, there's no reason not to go for Leech Seed. Like, also getting the damage on Katana so it dies to Z-Fly if you don't have any boosts because of Intimidate, right? After Dragon Dance, Intimidate and stuff. But Luigi just decides to stay.
Power Whip.
Yeah, Power Whip, I mean, that's fine too. Might put it in a range for Dragonite or something.
Power Whip would have been really bad if Luigi decided to switch to Lando and the Power Whip would have missed, because then Luigi can set up Stealth Walk and then it gets really dicey for Punny.
Yeah, I feel like it was either Leech Seed or T-Wave on Cortana, but either way, I think Power Whip kind of accomplished the same thing, just 5% less accuracy. Maybe it's kind of like a mid-ground, where even if you are Cortana...
Yeah, so... I understand keeping the Landorus on Punny's side, but I think you don't want to give the Katana a beast boost. Then it does more damage to the Dragonite, and you certainly don't want that. Like, can you not toss Landorus here to get a free Dragon Dance with the Dragonite?
Yeah, you do.
Yeah, that's what we see. And now, let's see if the Dragonite wins the game. I would say yes.
I'm gonna say probably. I mean, it would have to have a bad set to not win the game at this point.
Yeah, you see the second Dragon Ice here?
Like, the problem is if you go for a second Dragon Dance, Valandris U-turns to Magierna, then if you are forced to attack Magierna with Earthquake, he could switch back to Landris, but then you just click Dragon Dance again, because Valandris does not have Toxic, does not have Hidden Power Ice, so I think a second Dragon Dance is just super free here. Okay, we see Dragon. Oh.
I guess maybe keeping the multi-scale, and then, because...
But now you don't outspeed the Katana, and Magierna could break the scale, and then Katana could get the KO, unless we see a second Dragon Dance now.
Dragonite switch here.
That would be crazy, because then when do you get the DD again?
First off, is it slow Tapu Lele, because it could be Assault Vest or 4-attack, whatever, like...
Yeah, that's what I was thinking of as well.
Yeah, because if Tapu Lele is slow, it could die to like an Earthquake or a Fire Punch after Stealth Rock, and then you don't even need a Dragon Dance to win, you just need his Magierna to be chipped.
What if this is Groundium Z? Because Dragon Claw sounds like... Okay, wait. Does Punny lose the game? This is Smart Strike range, isn't it? I think...
Well, wait a minute, but... +1 Smart Strike doesn't kill Victini, you could fodder Ferrothorn, but then you might lose to Knockoff.
Exactly.
Yeah.
If a Dragonite has Roost, you probably go for Roost here. Because there's no way to punish that. A crit, I guess. But like, if you take the KO on Magierna now, you certainly lose the game. Because as Finch said, the Katana can click Smart Strike. Obviously, Punny can switch to Pharaoh, toss Pharaoh, switch into Victini. Victini KOs Lele. Katana comes in again, knockoff, game ends. So, how do you play around that?
It is Roost.
Yeah, it is
so I guess that's why Punny decided to go for EQ and for...
But then, like, if Luigi had Ice Beam, why did Luigi decide to click Flare Cannon? Really interesting team on both sides. Like, myjava is running a Hail offense, but with Gliscor and Hatterene in it.
Yeah, so the Gliscor, I've actually seen a bit on the ladder on Veil. It runs like Rock Polish plus Swords Dance with Facade Terra Normal. It's really hard to kill under Veil, so I'm kind of curious to see if that's the route Java took, or maybe it's more utility. And Laroxyl running a pretty, standard solid offense.
It's really interesting to see how Java will deal with Zamazenta, because the team looks very Zamazenta weak, but depends on the Zama set on Laroxyl's side as well.
Yeah, if it's Heavy Slam, it could be really problematic, or if the Hatterene ends up taking like a Ruination. We could of course see like a Terra Fairy, Terra Blast on the King Gambit or the Roaring Moon to try and lure it into security and then take it out.
We see the lead, and it's Tinglu against King Gambit.
Yeah, King Gambit with low kick is pretty threatening, just like overall. It'll force, Zamazenta to waste its ability and take, 25-30% damage, and it has a chance to do around half the Tinglu. Sucker Punch isn't super useful this game, aside from maybe Goldango too. So it'll be interesting to see what comes of that, and that's a tough miss. That's tough miss.
Dude,
that's really
like the worst move in Pokemon, I swear to God.
But it's also a super thing, and Nature's Madness. Like, these moves that halve the damage, that halve the life from the opponent, they do not have 90%. You cannot tell me that.
It feels more like 75-80%. Yeah, I've always felt that way, and especially with Tinglu, it clicks it so much that you really get it exposed. Like, you feel like it misses once or twice every game. So.
Yeah, that is really unfortunate because, as I said before, with Zamazenta from Laroxyl is a really good Pokemon, and as you said, Finch, if Hatterene takes too much damage early on, it can get really dicey, and now it dodged the Ruination.
Yeah, it would have already been in range of like Heavy Slam, or it would have been too KO'd by Life Orb Crunch or Terra Dark Crunch if it was that. I mean, it's still easy to force the Ruination onto something, and actually we're going to see a really nice savvy sequence there from Laroxyl, as predicts the attacking move, which, what else would Hatterene go for? And it gets rocks up.
It's really interesting to see that the Tinglu is also slower than the Hatterene, probably a min-speed Tinglu on Laroxyl's side.
And right off the bat there, I feel like, Laroxyl's taken 20% damage, and we're right back at the King Gambit versus Ting Lu from before. This feels really good for Laroxyl in terms of a starting point.
Yeah, no booster energy on the Roaring Moon anymore. 50% damage on the King Gambit. Walks are up. myjava has no hazard removal. So this Ting Lu does way more than it should, and myjava has a really hard time to remove it because he also doesn't have low kick on the King Gambit apparently.
Speak of the prophecy, by the way, we do see Zamazenta come out, but it actually is staring down Hatterene, so Java has reclaimed some good positioning there.
Why do you guys feel like the Roaring Moon clicked Dragon Dance instead of just attacking the Ting Lu?
So he probably expected a Ruination there, and odds are the most it could do is like 30%, with an Earthquake or an Acrobatics. It wasn't going to use Terra. So when it's red card, it doesn't always run Whirlwind. Sometimes it runs Earthquake. This set probably is Stealth Rock Spikes Whirlwind Ruination. So it's kind of a crapshoot. It was not going to do a ton of damage anyway, so I get the Dragon Dance, but it didn't work out there. And a Balloon Iron Treads, I don't see that every day. It's pretty cool. Probably could run Ice Spinner to help with Blitzcore, force a Terra potentially. Not sure it's gonna be able to take out the Roaring Moon, but it would 2 KO it as well. But it seems like Java's gonna force it out, and would see that same exact Ting Lu sequence as well.
Yeah, Balloon Ice Spinner is also really nice into Dragonite, but we see an Earthquake and Roaring Moon taking also a lot of damage. And an Earthquake, it's Roost Roaring Moon, never mind.
Ooh, Roost, interesting.
Yep, and that's another reason why Dragon Dance is really good, and we see it's not Earthquake on Ting Lu, so...
no Earthquake is interesting. Now Gliscor joins the field. You said it could be Rock Polish Facade, Swords Dance.
It's definitely Swords Dance. On the ladder we see a lot of Rock Polish. It could just be standard Swords Dance, but we'll always see it being, pretty fast Gliscor on Veil. It's nice to outrun things like an Encore Dragonite or a Raging Bolt, just because you don't really have other Raging Bolt counterplay on the team like this.
Makes sense. But now Ogapon joins the field. We have no water resist. We have the Roaring Moon, but with Rocks and Spikes up, the Roaring Moon doesn't really want to switch into this Ogapon now. So do you think we will see a Terra already on myjava side, or does he just toss the King Gambit, or maybe go something entirely else?
I could see him go to the Roaring Moon and try and leave this weekend. I don't think he goes to Zamazenta. I feel like Terra is not super likely here. Because you're not even necessarily 1v1ing it unless you, it depends on EVs of course, but you're not necessarily even going to 1v1 it, so there's kind of like you get diminished returns there.
Yeah, that makes sense. Also, if you go Terra normal with your Gliscor, with Zamazenta, just as I said before, if it just has Heavy Slam and Close Combat, really tough to deal with. And what's the Hatterene? What do you think? Is it Healing Wish, or is it maybe Calm Mind? Because it revealed Draining Kiss and Nuzzle already.
It revealed Nuzzle. I don't normally see Nuzzle on Calm Mind, although I don't normally see Leftovers on non-Calm Mind. Normally we'll see like a Custat Berry or a Rocky Helmet on Healing Wish sets. My guess is since it revealed Nuzzle, it's probably going to be Healing Wish, but it's too early to say. Healing Wish does make sense with all the setup sweepers, though, and we do see the Roaring Moon there. It actually probably has some HP investment since that IV only did. Yeah, it's slow. It's slow Roaring Moon.
Definitely got HP investment.
Yeah,
but it also locked it and pretty fast. So he probably calced it before. Was he able to calc it? Didn't he just click Ruination and with Rocks and Spikes? He only took 10 seconds to lock in this U-turn. He was also not scared of anything.
He knocked it off with the Great Tusk.
Wait, did he?
So that's interesting there, the Gliscor here. And I feel like it is probably offensive, so Make It Rain could do a lot of damage to this if Laroxyl stays in.
Also what I wanted to say is that Roaring Moon wasn't even threatening the Ogapon because it only had knockoff, no acrobatics on the Roaring Moon. The whole moveset was revealed. So, but damage on the Ogapon could matter in the end against something like the Zamazenta or the Gliscor, but luckily he was faster with the Ogapon.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, myjava has to be thinking about the Air Balloon Iron Treads here.
Yeah, the good thing is, what I what I would have expected from myjava was a Ninetales against the Goldango to just set up Veil and let it die, but we see Swords and Gliscor instead. This Ogre Punch should not be Encore, right? Or like
I would be surprised if it already showed U-turn. It feels like, especially when you've got like multi-scale Dragonite and Zamazenta, kind of as protection, Encore doesn't seem as likely.
Imagine this is a Terraflank, Terrablast, Gliscor now. That would be threatening. Like Rock Polish and then try to sweep with Terrablast Earthquake.
That would be sick.
That would be sick.
I mean, Gliscor also gets acrobatics, and it gets knocked quite often after the Toxic Orb is activated by stuff like Great Tusk or Warring Moon and so on. So probably not on this set, but definitely interesting. I think it also gets Dual Wing Beat, but Dual Wing Beat is just way too weak. The problem is really myjava has fallen quite behind, I feel like, but a well-timed Terra could definitely bring him back into the game.
Yeah, I do think Terra is going to be kind of the saving grace for myjava, but a lot does come down to what sets things reveal. Like, for example, if this is Terra Normal Gliscor, it could help with the Ogerpon, but then Zamazenta can still revenge kill it, so it might actually be better if it's like Terra Dragon even.
Okay, we see the Terra Normal.
It is the agility set, okay.
But a critical hit winning the day a little bit. I don't know if it matters a ton, because the Gliscor should have been in range for the Zamazenta anyways.
Yeah, I mean, Body Press or Close Combat would have killed regardless, because this is probably a not super defensive variant of Gliscor, if I had to guess. Obviously, I could be wrong.
I mean, this Ivy Cudgel did not do as much as I expected with a critical hit. Like, the Gliscor is not fully physically defensive. And now it could get 1 KO for sure, because Laroxyl is not allowed to switch hard into Zamazenta. Instead, we will probably see an Iron Treads sacrifice, or what do you expect here?
I mean, he's got the balloon, so there could be some goofy pivoting through the Goldango here as well.
I'm then to the Treads, but then the Gliscor gets a lot of recovery with its poison heal, so maybe if it's full life, it is out of range for Zamazenta. Probably not, but it could also... Is it a set that this Gliscor could be mono facade? Probably not, right? I mean, there are a lot of ghost types.
It's almost certainly Earthquake last, and if not, then knockoff at least. I guess it's worth noting that Zamazenta probably will take around half, maybe a little over half, depending on its EVs from this. That helps for like King Gambit if it's healing with Shatterine.
Yeah, we see the sacrifice of Ogerpon, keeping the Treads alive, probably for the Hatterene, as well as maybe some weird Zamazenta set, because Iron Treads can Terra, obviously, against the Zamazenta as well. Doesn't have the best moves against it, but Ogerpon cannot defensively Terra against stuff like Zamazenta or the Gliscor, so it makes sense to toss Ogerpon, especially because you already got the damage on the King Gambit as well. So yeah, I think now we will definitely see a Zamazenta coming in. Maybe, just maybe, it's Dragonite with Choice Band or normal E-Speed, because there's a Rapid Spinner on the team with Iron Treads, but it doesn't look like a Choice Band Dragonite to me. Oh wait, yeah, true, no Dauntless Shield, because the Zamazenta got whirlwinded in against the Hatterene. And we get a crit again with Body Press. So actually, I think the Ivy Cudgel crit did matter quite a ton, because Body Press would have not KO'd the Gliscor otherwise. So a little lucky from Laroxyl, but definitely not game yet.
Yeah, I mean, there's still a lot left. A lot is going to come down to like what the Hatterene can do, and if there's any way for myjava's Zamazenta to win the game despite Goldango being there. I'm assuming no, because it already used Terra, so it can't be like Terra Dark. But we'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, now, well, the problem is the Goldango has to deal with both Zamazenta and Hatterene. Depending on the Zamazenta set, this can get dicey, because it definitely has Crunch, I would say. And maybe it's Life of Zamazenta as well, or maybe Assault Vest. There are a ton of Zamazenta variants on like these kind of teams, and it's just Iron Defense. interesting rest from Laroxyl, playing with a little passive, probably also with Chesto Berry item on the Zamazenta from myjava, because there is no leftovers and we see another critical.
I'm afraid I don't understand that play.
I don't understand it from Laroxyl when you have a full health Goldango. Because now King Gambit is pretty scary. Obviously, there is a full health Dragonite, and there's still Terra, so maybe Laroxyl knows something we don't.
Yeah, and the Goldango is probably offensive because he definitely didn't want to switch it into a crunch, but just tossing the Zama for free is a little disrespectful to the King Gambit. Never mind, there goes King Gambit.
Oh. The King Gambit is now fast, but I'm not sure it's going to
Yeah, it's Choice Scarf Goldango. Without recover, probably. It could still be Make It Rain Shadow Ball, Trick Recover. But we see Iron Tread switching in here.
Yeah.
So Iron Tread gets the KO on the King Gambit. And now it all comes down to myjava Zamazenta trying to win with Zamazenta. I mean, behind Aurora Veil, it's possible, but we don't know what the Dragonite carries. It can also be something like Anchor, it can be Terra Blast, Flying Terra Blast, so yeah.
Ooh.
I don't quite understand why myjava wanted to lock the Iron Treads into Earthquake. I mean, what was the Iron Treads supposed to do there?
Ooh.
But now Laroxyl takes the KO on the Ninetales immediately, which I also don't fully understand. I think this means that he has Anchor on the Dragonite, because otherwise you would have delayed the knockout, because Ninetales is not really threatening the Goldango anyways.
Really, yeah, I'm thinking the same thing here. And this is where it gets really interesting, because like there's a ton of variation between possible sets in this endgame.
Yeah, we see Iron Tread switching into Zama here, and goes for Terra Ghost, so no Terra on the Dragonite anymore, and we just see the knockoff to remove the Chesto Berry.
And that's smart, because now if it does get lower, you force to rest, and Goldango should be able to 3-hit KO it, I think, with Shadow Ball, Make It Rain.
Mm-hmm.
But does the Goldango take 2 crunches? The defense drop can also happen 20% of the time.
Yeah, I mean, if it's no attack investment, a lot of Goldango do run a little HP even on Scarf, but it could be a roll as well. There's some nuance there.
I mean, it does 41 to Iron Treads, so that's a little more than I expected. And
yeah, I was expecting like 35-40, so it could have some attack investment. It could also just be an offensive Iron Treads. We've seen a bit less offensive Iron Treads. We've actually seen some special defense ever since Raging Bolt got popular, but I mean, no one really knows for sure. So yeah,
that's for sure. But now, I think Laroxyl is forced to go Goldango, but then it can also get tricky against Hedreen, and that's why we see the Dragonite instead.
Do we think it's the ladder Dragonite?
The ladder Dragonite? What's the ladder Dragonite?
DD Hurricane, brother.
Oh no. I mean, myjava could switch to Hedreen now, get a Nuzzle off, and then Healing Wish with Zamazenta. That's a play for sure, but then you also lose your Aurora Veil turns. So it's really interesting to see what both players decide to do, and we see Iron Defense and a Dragon Dance. So I think myjava might win this. It depends, on the Hedreen is not custom berry, but
it's
the
Zamazenta.
Yeah, the
and
Zamazenta.
After hazards, it's going to be at around 74%. So I'm wondering
if Zamazenta could go for a rest now, and do you switch to Goldango if you are Laroxyl? But if myjava goes for crunch, you might lose the game on the spot.
I think I go Goldango here if I'm Laroxyl. Yeah.
Doesn't crunch KO D-Knight from 18?
Yes.
Yeah, but if you get the KO on Dragonite, your Zamazenta is in range for Shadow Ball after the next Earthquake, and then you cannot get the rest off, and you lose to Goldango after. Okay. So this is kind of a 50-50, I would say, since the Dragonite does not have Anchor, and the Zamazenta does have Crunch, and maybe it's a little attack invested. So really dicey turn, because if Laroxyl just goes for Earthquake and myjava goes for Rest, myjava probably runs away with the game. I mean, you could also play it safe and just go for Earthquake, force a Rest, and then switch to Goldango. But I'm not sure how this would play out then, because obviously Goldango gets 3 moves off, but Shadow Ball Make It Rain should KO Zama, but when on the Make It Rain, myjava could toss the head-ring, go back to Zama Center, click rest, and then burn the turns again.
Yeah.
So yeah, really interesting.
Trick Nasty Plot Gold could be a potential. Ooh.
Oh,
Parablast doing more is kind of funny.
it is. I respect the Earthquake for fishing for a critical hit, but now Goldango switches in, and now we will see.
Oh yeah, now a lot's going to come down to like a special defense drop could help a ton. How much does Crunch do?
Oh, that does a ton. So it completely comes down to how much does the Crunch do. If it does more than 50, myjava probably wins. Yeah, it's not just probably. As long as Make It Rain doesn't crit the Zama here, myjava wins the game. Oh yeah.
Okay.
And it is no crit, and with that, a little surprising, honestly, but myjava, I think, even with an extreme speed critical hit, there's still the head-ring, which Dragonite can just not one-hit KO.
Yeah, it's surprising to see Crunch do that much, but it looks like it's over.
Yeah. Like, we see the extreme speed, the attempt to get a critical hit, doesn't get it, and that
Even
is
then,
a
Head-Ring
two-and-oh.
would have at that point been fine.
Exactly. Like, even Earthquake crit does not KO head-ring, and with that, myjava wins 2-0 against Laroxyl.
All right.
Really cool
That's
game.
a pretty good game. A very good end game from Java there.
I would have wished to see a little more of the Zamazenta from Laroxyl, but it was a little bit unfortunate that it got whirlwinded in by the head-ring.
What Terra do we think the Dragonite was?
Flying. Or maybe Fairy. I saw some Fairy Terra Blast Dragonites popping up. Overall, a really clean game. A good game from both ends, and was fun to watch.
I love watching Lighthouses. This guy used to be really good back in the day, and then it's like I think his first SPL in what, like 5 or 7 or 8 years?
Yeah, it's been a while.
Yeah, he beat me in World Cup back when I was in like my freshman year of college, and now I'm like an old man, so just put it in perspective.
Yeah.
But these teams look pretty standard.
Yeah,
like a Lopany bulky offense versus a sand team. Tar no drill could mean like a choice band Tar, which is nice to break. Potentially could pick here. And right from jump, Drill versus Rotom in this generation is better for Drill than others because it's almost always Mold Breaker when it's not paired with Tar, and it threatens Earthquake. Rotom could, of course, live Earthquake.
Yeah.
There's some nuance to it. Like, we could see PJ just do a conservative switch to Gliscor here, though.
X guy's
He could
not.
stay in, but staying in is going to be it would be, I don't know. But I mean, he could realistically.
Well, like, the Rotom is the check to Volcanion, but also the Drill is the check to Clef. So, like, I almost think both of them, and we're going to see them both switch, so that makes some sense.
Yeah. I mean, I thought you'd go for rocks, but maybe the rocks are in Clef. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I think they're on Drill and it's Mind Clef just because there's no other. I mean, I guess Serp counts as a win condition, but like, I don't know. With ORAS, there is some like interchangeability because like this is a 6 I feel like I've seen before, but you could probably run it both ways.
I'll be honest. What is the stop to low Punny? It feels like it goes to him here.
Clefable.
Clefable? Yeah, Clefable can come in depending on its nature.
It does take a lot, yeah.
I mean, normally we'll see Return do like 40 to 45 to physically defense Clef, so like if it's Power Up Crunch or it gets a crit or it gets Encore, then you could pick a kill after that. But if it's one of those moves, then it's not Ice Punch, and then Gliscor can soft check it too. This is probably going to be rocks from Tram because it's Bantar, because you don't see a Drill, so it's almost certainly Bantar, But that does invite the Volcanion in, which is probably the biggest threat from Lighthouses from the jump. Obviously, later on, Lopunny could be a threat, but like right now, like everything but Rotom is really scared of this, and Rotom is still going to take.
Wow, that did nothing.
That did negative damage.
A lot more.
But the burn. The burn is a lot.
Yeah, the
It would
burn
be like one of those physically defensive protect Volcanion sets that like lives Medicham high jump kick and like Weavile like knockoffs and all that, but I don't know.
But this is good here because then if you like have protect for Mosh, you can burn it down, and then maybe you can.
It's also Lighthouses is going to go to Excadrill here, like one of those angry ladder players that always calls to play versus Rotom. Just watch.
I mean, objectively speaking, going Drill is the better play. Yeah, like.
Oh.
But I mean, it's a bad play, but it would have worked.
It would have worked, and that Steam Interruption because it's physically defensive. Oh.
Okay. Wait, what is the Volcanion set? Is it AV? Because that was a Volt Switch crit. I think it's AV.
Yeah, that's got to be Assault Vest Volcanion then. And
Yeah.
I think that PJ realized that based off the damage and knew, like, if it's 4 attacks, it's got to be Sludge Wave. See, like, my black-white brain was like, oh, you know, Clefable, I could just heal up. It's a special attacker. It's not going to kill me. But, yeah, that was smart.
I still think the best play is going hard Excadrill, though. Because this Rotom is never clicking Whisper or Pump here. Never.
Here's
He's
the
either
thing.
Volt Switching again, or he's going to Pain Split.
With rocks up, you really don't have that many entries to Volcanion, and that was like with AV, you take those Volt Switches and you do the damage to Clef, and now the Clef is at 50. Now the Lopunny is actually a fucking threat. So I feel like this was also a good play because you crippled it so much, and
Nice read there.
Yeah, I don't like the Clefable play because you know he's going to either Volt Switch or he's going to click Pain Split, and you're giving it more HP by Pain Splitting without pressuring. So like if you're expecting
never a world.
plays, I think
There's
it should
never a
either
world
stay
where you
in.
Hydro Pump or Wisp, so you always lose the turn if you go Clef.
Yeah, exactly. It's either Pain Split or it's Volt Switch, so you're going to be losing. It's either stay in
or you go Drill there, in my opinion.
Yeah, exactly. I agree.
Short on Wash. What is with those crits?
Yeah, these crits are crazy, actually.
They buffed Volt Switch to be an always crit move.
Yeah. And I mean, these crits actually matter. Like they're not killing, but they're forcing progress. Because look at how low the Clefable and the Volcanion are now.
Yeah,
I mean,
suddenly
you have to
something like a
stack 'em on here.
Tyranitar Crunch gets a kill every time it comes in safely.
And where is the heat train check? Anybody see anything about that? Like you have to go Volcanion on it, and you take the rocks, and then you take the damage. And with the Volt Switch crit, now it's looking really bad against the heat train. I feel like in a sense, you have to sack the Clef at this point. And what do you go? Do you go Lopunny so you have time to get the leverage before the Clef goes back up? Or
You have to go Drill. You have to go Drill, 100%.
Drill?
You go Drill and you flip Rapid Spin.
The problem is this is such an obvious Rapid Spin turn that, I mean, if PJ Lava Plume's here, I think that's a good play. He just makes the safe play of going Gliscor, though, on the spin.
Yeah.
I feel like Lava
I mean,
Plume
like,
is better,
Gliscor can be a threat if it's like Swords Dance, though, so it makes some sense.
Yeah. Honestly, just go Thunderous, Facade. Those did a lot.
That does a ton.
Yeah, it did a lot. I think Lighthouse is in a bad spot,
is
honestly.
the time kind of Volt Switch?
Yeah, it is. You can't risk, like, giving Tran an opportunity to just set up SR again. I think
I vote Switch here. I mean, I get both plays, but I think you have to win the turn either way, so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I Volt Switch on the Switch.
Here, BJ could still stay in on an HP Ice and, not take that much damage.
Well,
Yeah, he
if
could.
it depends on what the Gliscor is, if it's fast or if it's physical defense, special defensive, but it shouldn't die to 1 HP Ice, but it might die to HP Ice plus Rocky Helmet.
I mean, if he stays in,
You could stay in and click Roost and then go Heat Train next turn, like based on the HP Ice, I guess. I don't know.
but I feel like if you're staying in, you're predicting him to click Volt, so you might as well just either SD. I think SD is the play I make if I'm staying in, but I don't think you should ever stay in here. I don't think it's a good play.
Yeah, I think honestly, if I'm Lighthouses, I click Volt. If I'm PJ, I'm clicking the Tran. I mean, in theory, you could also Facade, but it ends up making Earthquake awkward. Clefable, I didn't expect that at all.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess Clefable is only needed for Lopunny, but like now Lopunny's right in front of you. Like this is an opening for PJ that you really didn't want to forfeit, in my opinion. So.
Yeah, I don't understand that play either. Because now you're forced to sack something, essentially.
It could mean that this is Protect T-Tran, and he's just gonna like try and win by protecting on high jump, I guess.
Yeah, I think that's it.
But at the same time, like still Clefable is more useful than like, for example, I guess the Rotom Wash. But I mean,
At that purpose, can you just go T-Tar and get the stand up?
I mean,
You could
I
realistically
wouldn't
go
T-Tar
T-Tar here.
because
I don't
if
think it's a bad
T-Tar
play.
enters, You get a free kill with Crunch. So
Yeah. I mean, I feel like going T-Tar here is not that bad because you know he's going to return 100%. So you can just go T-Tar and then go back to Clef to set Clef.
Yep.
And that's what he's going to do, I think.
Yeah.
Because, just get the stand up because now you're chipping it. Could this be...
And then,
Oh, no, it doesn't even outspeed.
and then you get the...
This could backfire if it's Power Punch, though. if it's Power Punch Lopunny, this could backfire very, very easily for PJ.
Does Power Punch kill?
I think it should.
It does, yes.
Yeah.
And now, here's the
and
other
like-
thing. We got to keep in mind that this is Gen 6, so
So
Lopunny
Mega
is
Zam.
Mega. Yeah, you're
Yeah.
quicker.
Yeah.
Barring Protect on Mega Zam.
Like, if this is Power Punch, this could be a game-losing play from PJ.
I mean, also, if it is Power Up, it's not. But
Oh, it's not.
if it
Wow, he
is Power
sacks the
Punch,
T-Tar
then
Like the class.
and kept the Clef. That's interesting.
I just think that going back to before when he let Clef take the Volt Switch, that was a bad play because you could have like had Clef healthier here and gone and clicked Softboiled. Now you're like, oh my god, I hope it's not Ice Punch, or I'm gonna lose, and that's like not a good
Yeah.
strategy.
Even if
I
it's
agree.
not Ice Punch, like I don't think Gliscor does enough, right?
It does,
Oh, it's not Ice Punch.
It is not Ice Punch. Okay.
but it
Yeah.
could be Encore here.
Yeah, it could be Encore. Surprised it's not Ice Punch.
It's not Ice Punch or Power Up Punch. That probably means it's Quick Attack.
Yeah,
Possible.
Probably.
You don't have a lot of speed control in this team if the X guy is not in sand and you don't.
Yeah, I
have
mean,
Spark.
also it like helps with Volcarona if it's HP ground Volcarona, Volcanion being your only check, and Thunderwave being your only checks like that. That having the double priorities could be good.
Yeah.
We've also seen like some random utility moves too.
yeah. This is pretty hard now for Lighthouses though, because he doesn't seem to have an answer to Gliscor. Oh,
Okay.
Rocky Helmet on Serp too.
Serp. The Serp can be scary. Can do some right now.
Well, the issue is that Serp, like, it can get a kill if it's HP ground, I guess, but I don't think it's HP ground first off. And second off, even if it does, after that chip, it's in Alakazam range, and you're quicker with Alakazam if you're not modest. So now you've got something that can Mega and be quicker than this and Lopunny.
Yeah, you have to. If you're Lighthouses, you have to double here. You have to double to like Volcanion or to Lopunny.
Or even you could double to Drill and then double back to Thundy
Yeah.
on Gliscor maybe. Like you could kind of do like
Yeah.
a triple switch.
And also, you're getting chipped by sand, so I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, he
I
glares,
thought for
but-
exactly that Serp could glare the Heatran, but I don't know if it does much except get paralysis odds.
Yeah, I don't really, because
I guess now
rocked up here.
it's easier to just go Volcanion and just get like a kill.
Yeah, you could just Steam Eruption, but still, like it's hard because he's gonna get rocks up unless he doesn't full para. Yeah, he doesn't.
If the Alakazam is not Side Shock, it doesn't actually get to kill the Volcanion. From this range,
Yeah.
at least. But I guess there is a Rotom here. You'll probably stay in here, claim one kill.
Rotom could
Oh, now
just Volt
Ooh, go Exca.
or Split.
the drill play on Pain Split.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, so it finally happened. It was inevitable.
Yeah,
Do you bump here as Ermash?
I,
would-
No,
I wouldn't.
I
pump.
always go Gliscor, yeah.
I go Gliscor, but I could see the appeal of pumping for sure.
Nah, I think you always go
would-
Gliscor, and I think you always Rapid Spin.
How exciting. Yeah, we see Gliscor. And we do see Rapid Spin. What kind of stops Gliscor from doing anything?
Oh, you can go to Thunderous here, but you're seeing not an you're gonna
Yeah, Facade 50, this stun is...
yeah, and
pretty
now
much
you're like dead to any move besides Earthquake ever. So
Yeah, I'm assuming we'll go Heatran on a Volt Switch on HPIs. And now rocks go up easily, so the Thun is dead.
this game feels over to me.
But Volcanion comes
Yeah.
in. It does feel over,
You have-
but
You have to go hard drill. You can't allow the rocks to keep. Yeah, it feels pretty over.
Like you'd need a lot of
yeah,
luck,
you can get a spin on a paralysis, I guess, but then the orb on a Gliscor, but then the Gliscor comes in, gets rocks back up, and it's a cycle. Volcanion comes in on a paralysis, and no
Yeah,
rocks
that's
go up.
pretty good. You have to double again here though. Like you can't stay in. You have to go Serp. Because otherwise you're not making.
Do you go?
I mean,
do
I
you
guess
Thun,
now-
Do you stack Thund here? Because then Rotom
No,
cannot.
no.
But
No, you can't Sec Thunder, or else you're gonna lose to the Gliscor. You have to. You can either go hard drill, or go hard Serp. You can't sack Thunderous, in my opinion.
But it wouldn't be a sack, I guess, if he does click Pain Split. That's the thing, you gotta go extra Volt. So, but if you Thun on a Pain Split, I think this is really a much better position. So I think if you win this 50-50, because of that paralysis, this is much better.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. But I mean, wow, that'd be an insane play to make.
Then Alakazam still did not mega, so you kind of can get that Lopunny and
going Thunderous would be crazy though. Maybe it works if he Pain Splits. It's a great play.
Because he's done it twice, and you really need the Rotom HP to go back in on this Volcanion if this kind of similar sequence happens again. Does go Thun on a Volt Switch though.
Volt. Yeah.
Let's see if it works out though, because the Rotom now is low enough HP that the Volcanion is going to be able to kill it on a switch. The Zam is not going to be able to kill it because it doesn't have, if it doesn't have Psyshock. I'm not sure even with Psyshock. And I guess you can go Serp on Gliscor, but it's really tough now. Much tougher against Gliscor.
Yeah, the Gliscor should win, I think.
Yeah, but the Heatran Paralyzed takes rocks, can give a lot of leeway to Serp. I guess you can double here to Volcanion on a Heatran.
Yeah, you have to.
But it doesn't happen. Synthesis.
That Synthesis felt like it wasn't gonna ever be the play.
Yeah, the play is either doubling or Leaf Storming, I think.
And maybe you get full power here, but no.
So. Toxic. Instead of
honestly,
rock,
I don't. Yeah, I don't like the Toxic at all. I think rocks are just much better. Because now you're gonna be forced to sack something. I guess you could sack Clefable, but I mean.
you sack Rotom, surely.
Yeah. I'm not sure. I feel like you sacked the Clef.
Because if you sack
Rotom can Pain Split.
That's true.
Yeah. And get some
HP really
back. I feel like you just sack the Clef.
Against anything. I guess against Volcania right now, but it doesn't do much because Steam still does a lot, or Sludge Wave.
Yeah.
Like it's just, I think the logic is that then you go Rune Wash and you get Volt Switch.
You have to go Drill here though. Oh, we don't. I guess that makes sense because you're. Oh, what? What's that?
Steam.
What? Yeah, why Steam? Why not Sludge Wave?
I feel like Steam doesn't ever work because you're never gonna see like a switch to Gliscor or Heatran there, right? Like.
Yeah.
Maybe if you kill the Rotom, you leave Alakazam with the option to Mega. So now.
Now you're giving out exactly, and that was a really smart Hydro Pump.
Yeah, and I guess maybe that's why he wanted to Steam, so it could stop both the.
I guess, yeah, that's kind of fair, but like you'd probably die to Fake Out in a Quick Attack, I'd assume.
Assuming.
I mean, the Serpier's at 100%. You just go to it. I don't get that sequence at all. I feel like if they both played it weird.
Yeah, and I don't get the I feel like neither player is playing aggressively, and it's getting awkward for both.
Yeah.
Hard Lop, hoping for a paralysis, doesn't get it, but no burn.
And now here's you know that is gonna go Gliscor, right? So you probably don't even click High Jump Kick. You probably click Return.
What if it is actually Ice Punch and it was a bluff this whole time? That would be crazy.
That would be some Soul Wind level play right there.
Exactly.
Yeah. But there's no way. Absolutely no way. I think you have to return if you're Lighthouses, because doubling the Serperior doesn't accomplish anything. Unless you double back and forth from Serp to Lopunny like 30 turns in a row. Then I guess you're chipping down the train with rocks. But apart from that, I feel like you just gotta return and pray for a crit.
Dude, SV has burned me. I was thinking about the Excadrill Terra. Alright, what's your turn? It does chunk.
Yeah, more than last time, but you still need a crit.
It could be a roll, 6% roll, depending on spread.
Nah,
no way. Did 39 the first time.
Okay,
yeah, 36.
Never
41's
mind.
probably max.
Yeah. And now that even crit saves you.
Reveal Ice Punch?
He would have. I mean, even if you account for... Like, at that point, it is way too late.
I think it's time to double back and forth. Just go back to Lopunny on the Heatran, then go Serp, then go Lopunny, then go Serp, until you break this cycle.
Until PJ gets bored.
Yeah, exactly. Excadrill works too, yeah. Keep doing it. Just keep doing it. You gotta chip this down to a point where Serperior can win. You have to win with Serp.
Ironhead.
Okay,
is
Ironhead.
it faster? Are we seeing flinches?
I mean, that might work, but you just go back to Serp. Yeah. And I go back to Exca. That's the only sequence I can see. Maybe Lighthouses winning.
Yeah, I don't think it's like Leech Siege Serp, because like Leech Siege Serp could like actually chip down the Tran and like win the game, maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe Leaf
Yeah,
Storm.
No, I mean it's Leaf Storm and a Hidden Power. If it's Hidden Power Rock, he can do it just like double, just maybe like 6 more times, and he can win. But if it's HP Fire, he's gonna take a while.
I mean, you get a bunch of paralysis.
The Para should help. Oh, he stays in though.
Roost. That was dangerous.
Yeah. Well, you can't synthesis. You have to go. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like this is looking pretty bleak for Lighthouses here.
Yeah, I think it's kind of the same debacle that he's been in for the last while now. Like, he just was a layer behind, if you will.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was still a good game, but it was just really, there was just that little some play.
This score is also proving how great it is in this game too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was really hard to check. You only had Thund and then no recovery on Thund.
Yeah, I feel like the sacking Thunderous was awful. I mean, it makes sense.
I don't feel like even with Thund right now, you wouldn't be able to get it in ever, and then you still like the glide score. It kills you, and it doesn't. I don't feel like it takes enough from HPIs to then die to Superior or anything like that.
I feel like you should be able to kill it with Lopunny if you can HPI sit though.
That's true.
That's the thing. And like I understand the play because like you said you're trying to catch the pain split, but I mean Drill is a lot more expendable than Thunderous in my opinion at that point. Might as well just risk the Drill. And if he pain splits, he pain splits. That's it is what it is.
I feel like it's from PJ that he didn't play split, recognize that play could happen and realize, this stun is dangerous. Yeah. It's better if I don't like fuck around with it.
I mean, there's still a world where Lighthouses could win this, but he needs to start getting basically every turn right, because every time he gets a turn wrong and Heatran is in, he's pretty much forced to sack him on. Yeah, like you can't synthesize here, you have to double.
But the chip on Heatran slowly but surely. The Excadrill healed up a lot from the lab, especially through the flinches. So still not over, technically. But the Serp is at 50. The Glide score 60.
Alright, so now we need a lot of flinches in a little time.
Yeah. I think PJ did get bored eventually.
Yeah.
Huh. Yeah, I think this game is over now.
Yeah, I think you just stay in here. Like.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't need a switch.
Leaf Storm does like 35-40.
Yeah, that doesn't do enough.
Yeah.
I guess you could synthesize a few turns.
But
it's
Fragile Mischief is not enough, yeah.
That Leaf Storm does nothing.
I mean,
35. A return crit here, but then you need both Fake Out and Quick Attack for their Zam, and I think you can avoid that.
You could also just fodder Heatran now.
Yeah, you don't have to stay in.
And we see a crit.
Wow.
Oh my god, actually?
Wait.
Hold on. Do you go Exca here? But I don't think that works because Exca, does it live? I think it just dies, and then you go and sack Heatran on a Fake Out, and then you don't get the Fake Out plus Quick Attack sequence, and that's not enough.
If it's not HP Fire, you can dodge. Oh, he makes a good play there to focus.
Yeah, I mean, basically it comes down to if the Alakazam is plus speed, because, yeah, you're not going to be able to priority your way to a win here.
I want to see a high jump kick miss here. No.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
And then
you have to quick attack.
Quick attack might not even kill, honestly.
No, it won't.
that's
Not even with a crit. Yeah, I think you should have played to see if it was timid or modest.
Yeah, my guess was on this team it was timid because you're weak to Ice Punch Lopunny, but who knows? Hopping into this one real quick, aesf in Mincemeat. aesf is kind of the protege of Zav, or Stretch, if you will. He's using this Veil team. We actually saw earlier today and a couple times. You got the Ninetales Lola for Veil, and then you got a lot of setup. It's actually been a common team on the ladder as well. Double Dance Gliscor. I think we saw it earlier with the Laroxyl game too. And on the flip side, Mincemeat, a player who is very, very good storied, maybe not at his peak right at this moment in SUU, but has a lot of good results. Using more of a standard team with Slowking as kind of the surprise Pokemon, but we do see a lot of Lu for hazards, a lot of Goldango to block Defog, and as a kind of Zombie Sense check, a lot of Low Kicks priority, Dragonite as well. Pretty common configuration there, just to Slowking. Looking at the matchup here, I think Low Kicks is great because it could potentially revenge kill the King Gambit if it's chipped, or the Gliscor after Terra, or the Roaring Moon if it's not Terra as well. So that could force the issue there. But on the flip side, I do think the Dark types from aesf, if played correctly, sequenced properly, can overwhelm the potential checks like Great Tusk and Ting Lu. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens with that.
Wow, that's pretty much over.
Oh, wow.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Wow. Is that... Okay, that did nothing, actually. I was going to say maybe that's Specs Goldango, but it's not because it did 30.
Yeah, and that's a crazy turn 1 as well.
It is.
I kind of get the play from aesf too, but it was just a soul read, I guess. And now, I mean, we're going to kind of be in a neutral looking position, but it feels like the disparity in the positions is actually substantial. As without Veil, Low Kicks goes crazy against everything not named Zamazenta. Even that takes 35 despite the attack boost, so. It is a nice double switch there, but Dragonite might be extreme speed, and that could take this out. It could also do a lot of other things in this game as well, and he's just going to lose there. Yeah.
Oh. I'm gonna tear the Goldango here? Probably, right? We're gonna Misty Plot. Do you know what Terra Gliscor runs on this team, Finch? Is it
So, typically speaking, it's Terra normal, right? Swords Dance, Earthquake, Agility, or Rock Polish, I forget which one is more PP, and Facade. We do see this game be pretty helpful, but it might force a Terra from Gold, and we do see that here. And since it's a more offensive Gliscor, that's going to die easily. And now we're going to see that same sequence where it's Goldango versus King Gambit, but now Ninetales is dead, and I guess we can assume it's not Focus Blast at this point, but it might be too little too late for aesf.
Yeah, that lead was... I mean,
that was
much
crazy.
Sealed the line.
That was like a movie.
Yeah, that's a great play from Mince, though.
Yeah, I mean, he sometimes really pulls those plays out of nowhere. It's really, really impressive.
Yeah, that was really smart. I'm just wondering if from Ace, wow, I don't know how to say his name. If he could maybe pivot into something else other than Ninetales, because he was just scouting for Focus Blast, right? Not sure.
I don't know. I mean, I guess the Roaring Moon did, but even that's taking a ton of damage, right?
I feel like he's
for sure.
Scouting for Focus Blast, he was just expecting a switch and try to double.
Oh, you think so?
It could be.
That could be it. And yeah, maybe he expected a Great Tusk to come in, but I don't know. I feel like he should scout Focus.
I guess it does both.
Yeah. Can this Hattering maybe win? Hattering is a pretty threatening mon, honestly, but I don't think it should be able to, though.
The thing is, we do see that it could get Nasty Plot +2 versus Special Defense +1. So Goldango should leave it chipped, right? And then you have the possibility for Dragon Tail on Slowking or Choice Band Low Kicks doing a ton of damage. We don't know if it's offensive Tusk, but Draining Kiss does hit everything.
Yeah. Should recover most of the HP right now. I mean,
I think I would have Nasty Plotted a second time there if I was.
Actually, probably at this point. I think
if you Nasty Plot a second time, you clinch this being a lot lower than it is right now.
It would have worked, but I think because the Goldengo died, could have died to the roll, right? I guess.
I mean, he knows his EV spread better than I know. Anything like that.
Honestly, the Hatterene could win. I don't see how Mincemeat beats it. I don't think you do enough damage to beat it. It's going to recover a lot of HP.
So
first impression doesn't kill.
Yeah,
that does nothing.
Yeah, this wins, I think.
It's tough because you don't have anything low enough to sack for the low kicks to get in again and get another U-turn, right?
Yeah, exactly.
It just gets everything.
Future crit, Rocky Helmet. I mean, I guess I don't know. Yeah, this is crazy.
Yeah, this should just win.
This might get the downside of clicking Tower Water against a Gliscor because you now become neutral to Draining Kiss.
And then even if you do kill the Hatterene, what kills the Zamazenta? Like
now the game's over regardless. Yeah, you lose Zamazenta too.
After you got rid of Slowking, it was like it's impossible.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Damn.
I feel like you could kind of come in and knocked maybe earlier, but nah. Too much HP or healed, no. Damn. Tough.
Honestly, though, it was a pretty, in my opinion, big mistake to not NP again, because if you NP again on the Draining Kiss, but I mean, that kind of is also reliant on, I mean, Ace did a pretty big mistake, in my opinion, to Draining Kiss at +2, or was it +3? But it didn't kill the Goldango.
Yeah.
So, like, if he got another NP, Mincemeat, and then he just Shadow Balls the following turn, with the Goldango at 2%, then he could just go to low kicks after and kill it with knockoff, because it wouldn't recover enough HP with Draining Kiss. So, like, pretty weird choice from Ace to not CM until he could guarantee the KO and the gold. But yeah, I mean, just shows how strong Terra is, right? Terra and Hatterene, really. CM Hatterene is a pretty underrated mon.
Yeah, really cool game. I thought after the first Make It Rain on turn 1 that it was going to be over, but brought it back expertly.
So this looks like a super standard game. I mean, nothing too crazy. I guess the main thing worth noting is like no drill on either Sand team, but yeah, they're both kind of Superman-ish. We got 3 spike immunities from Monai. I think we got 4 from Sergio, so that makes sense. I'd say matchup probably favors Sergio slightly, but it depends entirely on sets. Like this Keldeo with a couple burns or a crit Sacred Sword could just own with Tar.
Are we going to see Ryuni go home with the game again? I feel like it's possible right now.
So
entirely
a lot depends on its set. Like if it's Swords Dance Gliscor and it's not Ice for your Nicholas, that's like checked. There's also Tar in the back. There's a possibility for Trick or Thunderwave from the Psychic type. So, all right, Hidden Power there made no sense.
HP Ghost.
Yeah, HP Ghost.
Yeah, but like at that point, you're not going to kill Deladios with a crit. He's not going to Nicholas. Why not just Scald for the burn?
I think he maybe expected Ryun to come in. I think Ryun is a fine play there.
Nah, man, Ryun turn 1's crazy.
But I mean, Keldeo the crit is terrible.
They buffed
Keldeo doesn't do hit
Volt Switch Volt Switch every game is a crit! Every game!
Yeah, that's true. It's been critting since the ORAS game. Wow. That's so bad, actually.
That we were like the beginning of the game, we were talking about how Keldeo can run away with the game with like the Scald burns and the crits and everything, and now it got crit and died like instantly. I wonder what was the reasoning behind staying in there.
I mean, honestly though, if you look at the damage that Secret Sword did, that's 51% is a lot. I don't know if this Roto maybe has some like special attack investment, maybe. I think Volt Switch is ever killing though.
So that's probably just a specially defensive Rotom W.
Really? Like,
yeah, it's not hard on 0 defense.
Yeah, Secret would have done probably more if it didn't have any bulk. It was probably still max HP and it's
just by max HP and no defense. That's my guess.
Yeah.
Not well, not
actually think Volt
close to. Yeah.
Yeah, Volt. I don't think Volt kills still though. Wow.
Yeah, Volt would kill. There would have to be specs for Volt to kill.
That is a nickname of all time.
Monai's in such a bad spot now versus this Heatran. You can't go Latios because you can get Pursuit trapped and you lost your Keldeo. I mean, I don't know. I feel like staying in was... I don't want to say that... I mean, it's super unlucky that he got crit, but losing HP on Keldeo in this matchup feels very big. I mean, I guess it's fine if the Heatran doesn't hit the moves, too. But yeah, I feel like maybe even if it doesn't crit, like it's going to be so hard switching into Tran if your Keldeo is low from the Volt Switch damage, right?
Exciting Latios on Latios action.
Or Monai's is faster, it's looking like it. Either way.
Probably choice
Well, it could be on Fire Latios from Monet. It could both be Fire and a Speed tie. Could be Scarf in theory as well. There's a lot of nuance to this here.
I mean, I presume both switch out. No, actually, I presume Sergio doesn't switch out and Monai does, yeah, because he's probably locked into Surf and you hit the Drake. You do not hit the Drake.
Dracos are missing so much in Black White this year. That might have to be investigated.
That's crazy.
That's I think the
at least Monai gets Hazards, right? Leech Seed. No hazards.
That can help if it's Protect. That actually helps a ton. And we see some punch from Gold Mason as well.
Yeah, I mean,
what are you talking about? don't know what you're talking about, Finch. Let's focus on the game, shall we?
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like Monai's in a pretty bad position already. This game looks pretty bleak for him.
Can Zam ever win? I feel like no. What do you think is the Lando T set? You ever feel like
the Lando T is probably Rocks on Sergio's team, because you're probably not running Rocks on this, and I don't think Trans Rocks would have probably clicked it already. So I think Rocks, Lando T, and probably either Scarf Latios or no Scarf.
Then I feel like there's a chance for Zam to kind of win. I guess Rioniclus is always a problem. If you can save up the T-Tar for it, then...
But you got full health Tar, you got full health Rioniclus, you got... it would have to be Hidden Power Ice to kill the Landorus, and it would probably be Life Orb to kill the Latios, so I think that right now, Monet is like 3 or 4 steps away from it. Is it possible? Yeah, I mean, it's probably the best win condition Monet has, besides from maybe Swords Dance Gliscor, but I'm thinking it's probably Stealth Rock Gliscor, given that it's paired with the 2 faster Psychics and Ferrothorn didn't click Rocks.
I think this is Scarf Tyranitar based on the way Sergio played this.
Well, if it's Scarf Tar, it's better for the Latios here, but it's actually worse than to Alakazam.
Yeah, it would be horrible.
But I also...
not okay.
It actually just takes the Surf, which I guess doesn't make it that much easier for Zam, unless it's like not Choplet.
Yeah. I guess he would just play it conservatively to preserve T-Tar HP the most he could, just because of the Zam in the back. That makes sense. I wonder what Scarfer he's running, though. Like, surely it's either Latios or Landorus, right?
I would say at this point it's probably Latios, right? If you want to have... Like, if you're not Rocks on Heatran, you probably are Rocks on Lando T and then Scarf on Latios.
Yeah, I mean, if you're Sergio here, you have, like, a few options of... I mean, you never stay in. You either go Lando or you go
Landorus, because why not?
Yeah.
Sub.
Oh.
So
Sub SD?
something...
Yeah, I was thinking Sub SD.
No, I'm thinking
Sub SD with Ice Fang? Oh, it's slower. Oh, yeah, it is Sub Fast, you're right.
Okay, so if you are Alakazam here... Nope, you're not, never mind.
Yeah. Well,
you did really
honestly,
so
I don't like it. I don't like it at all. This Sub Fast Gliscor we saw from Solwyn last week, and we're seeing it now again. I'm not a fan of it. It just doesn't really...
It's fine, bro. We got Stealth Rocks for next week.
Yeah.
It just passed on the Intimidate. That was the purpose.
It's fine. Bulldog was not going to kill anyone.
Intimidated Ferrothorn is known to have aura, so...
Yeah. T-Tar taking a heavy chip here.
I think the Lando Scarf. Because if you're running Sub-Fast Gliscor, surely you want to be faster than Landorus, right? Surely.
Does anything make sense anymore, though?
I mean,
it's not
honestly, dude, if Monai manages to pass that sub to Alakazam, he's in a pretty good spot. And I mean, that Wisp dodge is pretty good.
Wisp dodge is horrible.
That could be a banded tar.
I was really thinking that if you really wanted to stay in with Heatran and just chip the T-Tower so that Reuni could win, and that's what Sergio did, but it did not get rewarded.
Yeah, that boost miss is terrible for him.
Yeah.
Because now your Reuniclus can lose potentially.
I still feel like Sergio's in the driver's seat here. I think you honestly can just go Landorus and click U-turn, and you always end up in an okay spot.
Yeah. Does Magma end here?
Really? I kind of feel like monai is going to win now. Just because, I mean,
Magma
not just
does
because of that miss, but the reveal that the Lando is Scar, I feel like is not going to be good for him.
Well, you still have Tar, Andrew, Nicholas at full. I mean, I guess there's some nuance to it. It depends a lot on sets.
Yeah, I think considering the Gliscor subpass, I'm imagining that the Zam is going to be Life Orb. Maybe I'm wrong, though. Maybe it's Sash, right? For D9.
I don't know. What?
That's a crazy play. Why would you go Lando?
So you go Gliscor on this, and then you just try and subpass to Tar, maybe?
Yeah, I think you just go Gliss. Honestly, can't you just TQ? Do you need Gliscor for anything? If it's Banded Tar, you're going to kill this with Crunch regardless.
Well, if it's Landorus, you need Gliscor alive to not lose to Earthquake.
Doesn't Pharaoh Leech beat it, though?
I guess, but, I mean, then Pharaoh permits Reuniclus. You got to sub...
Oh, wow.
It faded? That's insane.
Focus Blast is insane. Focus Blast is insane.
You need to get turns perfectly right here if you're monai.
I kind of feel like, I don't know if I agree. I kind of feel like he can just TQ, and I think it should be fine.
Famous last words.
Like, do you think he's gonna just drive Baton Pass eventually into Tyranitar?
But
I think he's going to drive Baton Pass on turn 22 to Tyranitar.
Dude, subject to PP stalls, dude.
Wait, sub plus tech has more PP than psychic plus.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, you literally have to outplay with CMs. This is really good for Monai because you just subdeck PP stall this.
Wait,
really get
this
sub
is fire because you just
fucking
Sorry, pardon my language.
It's fine.
You just need to sub again on a Calm Mind and you're golden.
But it's
but I mean you're
easier said than done.
Another. Wow.
Larios. Oh, to try the pass? What the?
No.
I think Monet read that Sergio figured it out. Because there's no other explanation for that, right?
It's the psychological warfare.
Wait!
Oh,
no. No.
That's so bad.
Failed. Colbert.
Yeah, that's not CB Tar.
No.
That's like not CB at all.
Defense tar ever.
Does that mean Gliscor kinda emergency checks the Reuni in a way?
I mean, if Reuniclus is hidden power ice, it has more attacking PP. But in theory, the game is kind of winnable. I don't know. This is so weird now.
It's not HP.
No, wait, it's not HP ice.
Yeah,
it's psychic focus.
No, yeah, what I'm saying is like it's not a universal check, but like it could check this specific.
No, yeah, I'm talking about this game specifically.
Yo,
but
with this Ferrothorn is T-Wave,
in safely, like Psychic probably does 40 to it, so.
If this Ferrothorn is T-Wave, setting up Reuniclus here could be tricky. This goes hard Zam though.
Ooh, Encore? And then you go
very unlikely.
Hard Tire. I mean, if you go hard Zam, then surely.
Wow,
but you don't expect to go it on a Focus Blast, surely.
Encore T-Wave could save him, I guess, but anything else looks pretty rough.
I mean,
yep, Shadow Ball.
Yeah,
that is a lot of damage. Oh my god.
Yeah, not enough though.
That crit is crazy.
Yeah, that's a
Tar
safe
traps
play.
now?
Yeah.
Is this Custap?
Is this Grass Knot? Yeah. Wait, wow, that doesn't kill?
It was so close, I feel like it was a roll.
Yeah, I guess it depends on T4
like
spread.
Right here.
Speak.
Wait. Can you imagine Gliscor winning by PP stalling Reuniclus late game?
I mean, that's like the win condition right here for monai. You have to click Protect here on turn 32 in case of Custap area, I'd assume.
Yeah, for sure.
And that also leaves you healthier if he just fought it off Tar. He could just go Reuniclus here if you're not Custap area in your Sergio, because you know he's gonna click Protect.
Lane of T instead.
Ooh.
Sob. That's him.
And you
doesn't
could
have
actually
much.
pass
You- but-
to.
Don't even pass. Don't even pass. Just go
Yeah,
hard
don't
T-turn
pass.
pursuit this.
Yeah,
Don't pass
you
the
go,
intimidate.
the thing is, you don't want to waste all your protect and sub PP against Landorus.
But you pass intimidate again.
Oh, I don't know. I feel like you should have hard switch. Because
Yeah.
it's first block. Hard switch to T-turn pursuit this.
I think I go Tar. Yeah, I'm not sure.
Okay, goes Gliscor now. Now it's PP stalling time, I guess.
The GEQ.
Oh, what? Are you gonna go for dodge?
Realize
can.
Landorus and Tar can come in and waste PP from Gliscor. So
If you're
Gliscor,
drop-
despite having 24 combined PP and Focus plus Psychic only 17, it's not like linear.
And also,
Yeah, and also-
just tanks focus blast here.
You're right, actually, but Crunch
And you-
doesn't kill.
Yeah, but you have to hit 2, so.
You're doomed! What?
Dude, this is tough. Can't you just
Spam
recover stall?
recover.
Yeah.
Spam
You
recover.
go
again.
to you go Gliscor here on the recover, presumably.
I don't know. I think you've got to hope for a drop.
And
yeah,
drop.
There's a
It
drop.
can. And now Runico is forced.
Wait, now you click Pursuit.
Pursuit for sure, yeah. Pursuit.
I don't
Play
think
for the
this
choke. Pursuit.
This is
You have to.
insane.
I've let you live long enough! What?
Oh my god.
And crunch.
wait,
Monai go.
Oh my
Monai
god.
wins. Monai
Wow.
wins. He won. Monai is him.
Wait,
Wow.
Forfeit.
Damn. Oh. Wow, he forfeited?
Yeah.
That's crazy. Wait, why would you forfeit there? Nah, that's crazy. You could still win with Lando, no?
I mean, not really.
Not against Pharaoh, no.
Really?
Pharaoh just wins with Leech. Yeah.
Dude, but there's a T-Tor in the land. I mean, I don't know. I'm pretty, dude, I'm pretty against forfeiting ever. Oh yeah,
Oh,
T-Tor's
I'm
good
with
to-
you
yeah,
there.
you're right.
Like the game was over.
Yeah, this game was pretty done. Yeah, you can't win. Wow, I'm
Wow.
surprised when I played that so well.
That was an awesome game to end the stream off on. But thank you everybody for joining us. This has been Elodin, Finchinator, Radu, as well as Munnet and
Michael.
Michael Derbesta, right, yeah. So thank you everybody for joining us. This has been the Smogon Gameday cast, and we will see you next time.
Thank you. Bye, guys.
Bye bye.
Bye, guys.